Head teacher refuses to feed children who are more than a penny in debt to the school. How many levels of libertarian are you on? Although it's, not libertarian because it's not his property. Pupils whose meal accounts are more than a penny in debt at a school will be left without food at lunchtime. Man, I can already tell that this has already been walked right back, but we will go into the article nonetheless. The severe warning was issued in a letter to parents sent by Neil Foden, strategic head of Eagle Different Nantil in Pengrose. Gwynedd for fucking hurdy-gurdy-gurdy. I hope I did alright there. I dated a Welsh lassie for 2 years, so maybe I can manage. You ever had a Welsh lassie talk dirty to you? It's the funniest fucking thing you'll ever hear. Wow, put it in my pussy. I'm still laughing remembering it. As part of an approach recommended by the local council. Oh yes, councils. Oh, they're brilliant. They never make bad decisions. But before we get into the mad lad, it is in fact your boy Raid Shadow Legends. With millions of champion combinations and countless tactics to master, there's no end to the different ways you can fight raid bosses, do dungeon runs, battle in the campaign, or compete in the PvP arena. With hundreds of artifacts to buff up your boys and over 500 champions with unique skills, you can fight your battles the way you want. And use my link down in the description below to download Raid for free on your phone or PC. The Guardian of the Void Keep, Malek Kavar, was a priest of the light, but at one point while stargazing he saw that the light wasn't much of anything without darkness. His fellow priests didn't care too much for this idea and they banished him. He went off to master the magic of the Void, so we have a nice supply of Void potions to ascend our champions with. He does, however, have a chip on his shoulder about being exiled, so he's not giving his potions up without a fight. The trick to fighting Malek is to deal with the poison he puts out. He has an ability that deals all the poison damage that you could take all at once, which can nuke your entire team if you're not careful. His poison debuffs can't be blocked or resisted, so you'll need shield buffs and healing to counteract the damage. If you can cleanse debuffs on this boss, you have an easy win. And my favourite thing about Raid Shadow Legends is still mining salt in the PvP arena. And this month Raid has got a non-stop schedule of special events and activities, so that means big rewards and even more awesome new champions. The big update coming out this month is the Guardian Ring. It's a huge feature that gives you loads of new ways to use your champions, including a whole faction guardian system, a new way to get legendary champions that you missed out on, and also an entirely new way to upgrade. So if you want a starting boost in Raid Shadow Legends, then hit the link down below or scan my QR code on the screen to get 200,000 silver, an XP booster, an energy refill, an ancient shard, and the epic champion Chonaru, so you can summon a great champion as soon as you get into the game. These rewards are only available to new players and only for the next 30 days, and you can find these rewards here in your inbox. The ultimatum said the school cook had been instructed not to give food to any pupil if their debt has not been cleared, or, in the future, to children whose accounts do not have enough money to pay for lunch. A deadline of November the 19th has been set for parents to get their children's accounts up to date. The letter, which has sparked fury among parents, understandably so, stated the Welsh school had run up debts totalling more than £1,800 at the end of last year, and that was the reason behind the drastic measures. It was accumulated by some 70 families, with 9 parents owing more than £50 and 3 of them owing more than £100. Mr. Fodden highlighted parents whose accounts were in debt were texted on a weekly basis, but in most cases there was no response and some debts even increased. And that'll be the letter there. He said closer inspection revealed that this was because a handful of pupils had run up debts totalling more than £1,800. Unfortunately, this means that I have had to take the following steps. All debts over £10 will be transferred to the authority and the parents will be invoiced by the council. So they've actually... See how, like, some places when they chase you up for debt, they transfer the debt over to a debt collection agency, and, like, the debt collection agency will collect it, they sell the debt. I'll just sell the debt to you, so you pay me and I get a little bit of money and then you get to collect this debt. Yeah, that's fucking quality. All debts over £10 will be transferred to the authority, and parents will be invoiced by the council. So that basically means that instead of using a debt collection agency, they've done it to the council. And the problem with councils is any fines or debts that they give you are the ones that you legally have to pay. Sorry, legally under the current system. So, legally. All debts over a penny will receive a message from the school to clear debts and credit the system by Friday, November the 19th. The head teacher then threatened further measures, including refusing to serve children at the school. He apologised for the approach, which has been branded as absolutely disgraceful by the parents. Now, there might be some kids at school whose mum and dad have fallen on some hard times, and for a lot of kids who are impoverished, the school is the only hot meal that they get. The school's the only hot meal that they get, and their cards most likely are in debt, and you're telling them no. He apologised for the approach, I've just read that, but Mr. Foden argued that the scale of the default means that something clearly has to be done. The email has been shared on social media and attracted widespread criticism, which, well, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Some pointed out serious questions should be asked about why the deficit was left to grow so much. Very good question. In the first place, adding a lack of administration should not be a reason for a child, I believe that's meant to say, to be humiliated at lunchtime. Yeah, nobody wants to be the poor kid. No, nobody wants to be the poor kid. Can't afford lunch. Yeah, nobody wants that. One parent, Darren Owen, said, absolutely shocking. If there's a debt by the child, the cook has been instructed to not let that child eat that day. What the hell is wrong with the system? The child might not know that mum and dad are struggling to pay. Yes, that's a very good point. It might be the only food that the child eats that day. Yeah, these are the points I made earlier. Who the hell proofread this email being sent out? In a statement following the outrage, Mr. Foden confirmed that pupils from the most financially disadvantaged families are eligible for free school meals, and they are automatically credited with a daily allowance. He added, any parent in genuine financial difficulty should write to the child's head of year in order that we may see how best to assist. Well, the problem is, in fact, if they get paid in every day, then yeah, that should be all right then. We understand that many families have experienced financial difficulty during the pandemic, and we are not unsympathetic. But you kind of are, a little bit. However, any shortfall in the budget for school meals will have to be made up by the school, which could mean fewer books and resources for all pupils because of debts run up by a few. You're the one that let the debt run up, though. Why'd you let it get that high? Right, and also if I was one of those students, see just in protest, in solidarity with my fellow people, I would just go off school. I would just go to the shop down the road. There's plenty of little cafes and stuff like that. In fact, don't do the cafes, they're fucking extortionate. We went to the Fountain Chippy in Coatbridge, that's where we went. I used to have a rolling piece of crunch for my lunch every single day. And then I wondered why I was a fat fuck. Yeah. I turned into a little tubby boy. I wonder why. All the pizza crunchies probably had nothing to do with it. However, parents send texts, people just disregard those, right? You just start sending out letters there where, yes, I understand that, if the kids do owe money for food, then yes, you should contact the parents and get them to pay if they're in debt and stuff like that. However, there is a much better way that you could have gone about this. Yeah. Lesson learned, hopefully.